well, potentially. Or it's another way of saying, of just saying survival and intimacy.
Well, that's of course the basics. Well, hopefully we are more complex than that. But of course, if you extract it down to what it's really about. Well, somebody's also said that all stories basically are love stories in a way.
Okay, you've got to explain that.
Well, you love. You have to cope with your passions in a way. Always, even when it comes to a matter of life or death, or having food on the table. It's. But I'm not sure if I'm agreeing. But I heard that expression.
Yeah, and that all stories are somehow about passion.
Yeah, or we are passion driven. We overemphasize we overemphasize what do you call it, our intellect. We believe that we take intellectual, that we choose with our brain, but we don't. We choose with our heart. And that's why intellectual plays can be really dull. But interesting, but for the few.
Let's we're moving towards the end now, but I've got a couple of more questions for you. And first of all, could you say something about your experience of collaboration? Because as a writer in the theatre or in the movies, what you produce is never the end product. You've got to relate to a number of other people. How do you deal with that? Is it difficult? Is your voice heard? How do you ensure your sort of artistic integrity in that kind of context?
Well, it's sort of a soft spot for us who write drama. But my overall experience is that it has been quite good collaboration with other artists, with the directors or whatever. But there are some few occasions where they didn't want to see me at all. They just want me out of the room immediately, and some of the results are very good. And I was so surprised when I saw the final product, and some are really heavy to look at afterwards. But that's life in a way. I mean, I'm not in the position of controlling this process, or very little. But for me, it's so much more fun to be part of the production, and I don't understand people or directors or others who don't want my participation, because I'm like an encyclopedia when it comes to this topic or what I've written about, because I've been living with it for many years maybe, and I know everything, and the director probably has to start on scratch. But collaboration with, to have a really intimate collaboration with me would cut some corners in the making of, or in the process. Yeah.
But are you willing to rewrite? Because I guess that's probably the crux of the matter, that the director will be afraid that he wants to change something and you can say no.
That's so important to rewrite. I mean, rewrite is perhaps more important than the first draft or whatever. And you have to be... when it comes to drama, it's very important that you see that as a sketch, not a draft. I mean, the draft, not something who is sizzled into granite. So I'm actually rewrite even after the premiere. I rewrite because maybe it will end up in another form. Maybe somebody else will look at it, especially when it comes to plays. I mean, I know that, for instance, Amadeus, by what's his name?
Schaffer?
Schaffer?
Yeah.
Schaffer. I've heard that he has rewritten it many times. So please, if there's any directors who want to work with me, I'm a fan of rewriting. And I also say that to my students all the time. You have to.
Last question. We're obviously hoping that a lot of young playwrights or emerging playwrights or playwrights that are moving into writing for young audiences for the first time will be watching these videos. So if you were going to mentor or give some guidance to somebody who's just moving into that field, what would be your advice?
Keep your ass on that chair.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's all about writing. Don't give up all the time. I mean, and that's writing for children or writing for grown-ups. It's a writer writes always. That's also an approach that when it comes to writing for children, I don't have any recipe for that. Of course, you have to you find yourself somebody either to collaborate with, a director or a company or somebody, because the reason we write is to have it up on the stage, not in a drawer. And you learn so much more when you see your own mistakes. and you sit in the theater and feel the audience, and especially for young people. I mean, that can be magic, both ways actually. When they start talking and don't follow the play, then I'm really alert. Then I'm really, that's my steep learning process. But also the other way. I mean, when they laugh, when they come back to you afterwards, and they would talk about characters, Or like me, I wrote some television series, 4 seasons actually in the mid-90s, and my students, when they found out that I wrote that TV series, they are almost, I mean, that made my childhood. That was my childhood, and then I really got, very proud, and so get it up on stage. That's fight for it. Get your things up, and then maybe you have to rewrite again and again.
Again and again. Arthur, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for participating in this interview.
Thank you.
It was wonderful.